Let the bass.
Alright, good morning. Welcome to the first match for Sunday, or Saturday. Rumble, we have Supernai versus Dawnwing, and we're immediately, Supernai is immediately going to be picking Hard Rock 4. To recap the bans, Supernai did ban out both Precision maps, DT4 and Hard Rock 2, while Dawnwing banned out the Reading map, the Nomad 6, and the Ulti map, Nomad 2. We're going to be going into Hard Rock 4, and this is going to be 170 BPM heavy flow, like 170 streams heavy flow on Hard Rock, and it's going to be really tough to not chain miss. It's really hard to keep up with the streams and not to like slightly under or over aim during these space streams. We're going to be going to the first KI here. Both these players seem pretty comfortable, but Supernai is going to be finding the first chain misses, and that's immediately going to give Dawnwing the lead here. And that's not good, but both these players find a chain miss as well, keeping things even. But Dawnwing does have that 20k lead out of this first KI. But there's still so much more of the map. There's so much more streams that you can combo or chain miss on. So there's still a lot of ground to cover if Supernai wants to bring his pick back. Both these players so far are still holding in the slower, calmer section of this map. But Supernai does go down, missing on those space triples and finding some trouble on those shorter streams here. He just keeps misaiming, and Dawnwing is still holding on to that combo, 450 combo and growing, and so is that score lead, now sitting at a comfortable 90,000 points halfway through the map. Dawnwing is looking very comfortable at this little break here, and is in a very good position to take this first breakpoint. Here we go, right back into these space streams, and Dawnwing does find a chain miss, but he's built up over 100,000 score lead. Supernai is going to need to combo the rest of the map, and he doesn't. He finds another chain miss at the end of those little stream sections. And with only a quarter of the map left, not much combo to combat Dawnwing. I think it is safe to say that Dawnwing is going to take this first breakpoint. Supernai just finding a lot of trouble on the streams again, chain missing again. Dawnwing managed to combo. Oh, but he gets slow sided. Did not remember or did not practice this map. But it doesn't matter with 150,000 score in the lead. Dawnwing is going to comfortably take this first breakpoint. And Kunai finding a big chain miss at the end. Going to be dropping some score. Not that it really mattered much though, but for your first pick, this is not looking too great for Super Nye. But hey, it is just your first pick. There's still a lot of the match left. And it looks like they immediately picked DT1 as it switched over to that song. We don't see it in the chat, but this is going to be your DT1 that is picked here. And they're going straight into it, and this DT1 is going to be AR 10.3 and for 3 minutes on DT, or 2.5 minutes on DT. This is going to be, you know, this is going to be pretty aimy. Testing your aim. Everything. Both these players opting to go the hidden optional. Not big 10.3 AR readers with that DT. It's okay, I understand. Yeah, and this map comes at you fast. With it being 160 BPM on DT, but that's going to be 240 jumps. And on air 10.3, it just feels so much faster. And Super Nye is going to be finding the first miss. Meanwhile, Dawnwing is still holding on to that FC, and that FC is doing a lot of work for them as the score lead is already 90,000 in their favor, just a quarter of the way through the map, holding on through that first PI. And you could see the difference of comfortability between these two players already. Super Nye finding a miss and having 94 accuracy. Meanwhile, Dawnwing is still holding on to the FC with 98 accuracy. And Dawnwing is in a very comfortable position, but if he does find a miss soon, it could be danger for him because SparklyFairy does have a recovery combo as we go into the second PI. It could be the perfect opportunity for Super Nye if Dawnwing finds a break, but both these players so far are still holding on to these fast jumps. Both those players hitting the back and forth, the 1-2s, the space jumps here. Looks like Super Nye finally found his footing, but he finds a break. And that's just not what you want if you try to get a breakpoint back. With another break, I think Dawnwing is going to comfortably take this point, solidifying the breakpoint and keeping the score 2-0 in their favor. Now the real question is, will Dawnwing close out the FC in this last quarter of the map here? Oh, and they don't, unfortunately. They do find 2 misses around the end, or another miss right there. But regardless, that is like almost 1 million score. That is nothing to be upset about. What an incredible score. And what a way to solidify your first pick. Wasting no time here, Super Nye is not phased and goes into DT3. This is going to be your AR9 ulti, sort of dense DT pick here. Pretty gimmicky on DT. This is Faithlessness, and if you haven't seen any Mason Book Girl maps at Osu, you won't. It's just okay. I don't know why I'm saying it like this, but it's just pretty gimmicky for the most part. It's Air 9 after DT, Air 7 before, and it is just what BPM is this like? 255 on DT. I don't know what that is like normally, but it's just alts, AR9, dense. A lot of tricky patterns that overlap each other, and a lot of snap as well. Some of those linear alt patterns that you'll see later on in this map are very deceiving in difficulty. It's so easy to find breaks on there. And you can already see a bit of what the map has in store for you with these strange rhythm choices here. And Super Knight is going to find the first break here in this slower section, giving Dawnwing the early lead here. And with another break, it does not look like they're very comfortable, at least in the start of the map. Here you can already see those spaced 1-2-3s. Those are a lot more tricky than it seems. And we're going to be getting into the first PI, and both Dawnwing and Super Knight are going to be trading out misses. But that's just going to favor Dawnwing, as he's already built up at a 100,000 score lead. And with Super Knight missing more in this PI, just going to solidify that lead for Dawnwing. Out of the first PI with 120,000 score. 130,000 score lead. Very, very good position for Dawnwing to be in. But he does find a miss, so does Super Knight though. So it evens out. And the score lead is at a standstill, not going to be moving any other way. We're going to be approaching the second PI here. And these triples are so tricky if you aren't aware of them, but both those players hit it. Unfortunately, Dawnwing is going to be finding more misses, so does Super Knight. And Super Knight needs to hold on to their combo in this last quarter of the map if they want a chance to bring this back. But that chance is so slim. There's already about like a 160,000 score lead, 170,000 score lead. And with both these players missing more and more, that's just going to keep the score lead right where it is. And it does not look good for Super Knight right now. I believe there is not enough map. And this is going to be another breakpoint going towards Dawnwing. You can see the level of comfort between these two players on this map. Super Knight having a B rank with 24 misses, Dawnwing having an A rank with 7. And it's just a test of comfort on those types of maps. It is so hard to be really consistent and comfortable on those types of maps. But here we go, heading into the next map, and it's going to be Nomad 1. It's going to be the Ballad of Matt and Mika. And this is going to be your Nomad aim test in the pool, but this is not going to be any standard aim map, as we're going to be seeing shortly. It is a pretty low BPM, sitting at what, 184 BPM jumps, and it's a pretty short map, 2 minutes, but in those 2 minutes it is packed full with tricky, awkward, and dense aim throughout the map. A lot of weird wide angle changes. You can already see that here. Some linear jump patterns as well. And Super Knight is going to be finding the first break here very early into the map. It shouldn't matter too much. Just warming up to this map's weird nature here. But this map is pretty short, so misses are going to matter a lot here. Dawnwing finding a later miss. We're going to be giving SparklyFairy a chance, but they do go down as well. You can see the awkward angles, awkward jumps, and how wide they are. But so far, both these players are seeming pretty comfortable on it, comboing through. But Super Knight finds another miss right there, and that's going to hurt a lot. This map, as I mentioned before, is not too combo dense. So that a roughly 170 combo that Dawnwing has over Super Knight is actually going to matter a lot. It's going to put in a lot of work, and you can already see that Dawnwing having a 120,000 score difference, score lead, heading into this last third of the map here. Their aim just looks so comfortable. Meanwhile, Super Knight finds another miss there. And that's not what we want to see. If you're trying to get your first point on the board, and Dawnwing showing why he picked this map, being very comfortable snapping to all these notes. Does find a miss, but that is a minimum. That is a 250,000 score lead. 270,000, I believe. Good night, finding more misses, but it won't matter. Dawnwing's going to secure this point and bring it to 4-0. And we're not wasting any more time here as well. We're going to be jumping into another aim map. It's going to be your Hard Rock 1. It's going to be Wow Wow. Pretty common aim map I've seen around many tournaments. Pretty sure it's just going to be pretty typical aim. Pretty big jumps. I know that it's not too friendly. A lot of raw aim requirements. And on Hard Rock with CS 5.2, you're going to need to be a lot more precise as well. But picking Hard Rock 1 right after losing the Nomad 1, it's a bold statement for sure. Let's see if it's going to work out for Super Knight here. It's a bold statement to make, especially when you're down 0-4, you're trying to get your first point on the board and losing the aim pick right before. But honestly, I like it. It might work out for them. We'll see. They do opt to take the hit on Hard Rock. I know they said earlier they do. Their eyes are a little tired, hence the DT and Hard Rock 2 ban. DT4 and Hard Rock 2 ban. Right, here we are right into Wow Wow. This map is going to be 3.5 minutes. It's going to be 210 jumps. But Super Knight, right before we get into the first KI, is going to be finding a couple misses. And here, this map's going to give you a little bit of what it has in store for you with those big sliders and these back and forth jumps. Those sliders can really rip you up. It does kind of break your momentum somewhat, but does not affect Dawnwing in the slightest as they make it out of that section, still holding on to their FC. But it's only a third of the way through. They do find a break soon. All hope is not lost for Super Knight, but they're gonna need to find a miss soon if Super Knight wants to try to bring this back. But they look so comfortable, both of these players, but Super Knight finding a miss. And that's going to be, it's going to hurt a lot more than the earlier misses, as now Dawnwing has a 700 combo lead over Super Knight, finding a break finally, but that, with no combo to combat that from Super Knight, this is just going to be a 180k score lead, I believe, in favor of Dawnwing here, with only a third of the map left. Super Knight is going to need a miracle if they want to bring this back. Finding another miss. It's not looking good for them. Dawnwing does find a miss, a break, but it is a 180k score lead, and there's not much map left. Super9 finding more misses as well. I'm afraid Dawnwing is going to take this point and bring it to match point in this match. Yeah, Dawnwing now up 5-0 on match point, and it is their pick. This is looking very, very scary for Super9. We're going to be picking Hard Rock 3. This is going to be String Theocracy, and this map is going to be, it is going to require some aim, but more focused on swing and alt, and more flowy and snappy stuff as well. Some of these patterns are very, very tricky on Hard Rock to keep not only your accuracy up, but your combo as well. So we'll see if both these players are able to manage to keep their accuracy up and their combo as well, if they're going to need to sacrifice one of the other. Because to do both is pretty tough on this map. It's going to be String Theocracy by Millie. It's going to be bigger circles than your average Hard Rock map. I believe CS 4.9. But still plays a factor, a big factor in this map. Super9 opting with the hidden again. This map has a pretty friendly start here, introducing the swing patterns, those snappy 1-2 patterns. Right until we get into the first KI here, both these players hitting that ulti pattern there. That pattern is very tricky, I will say. And with another like big part of this map is with like 6-note alt patterns or whatever, and then snapping right into a slide ahead, like a mini jump. It is so tough. But both these players breezing through that first section with ease. And we see Super9 actually is looking a lot more comfortable than Dawnwing. Dawnwing has 92 accuracy. Meanwhile, Super9 does have 94 ac. So that's going to be putting them in the lead, and both these players find miss at the exact same time. So the score lead is not going to be going any other way, and it's going to still be in the favor of Super9. It is worth to note that the hidden multiplier will be excluded in the final calculations, but with the accuracy lead, it might still be in Super9's favor. But with that miss that we find going right back from the break, it might be enough to bring it back into Dawnwing's favor here. Dawnwing having more combo, but he does find a break, and it's going to give it back to Super9. Another miss right there. It's looking like there's only less than a quarter of the map left, and but Super9, I was about to say, has the combo lead to close this map out, as this last part is very slow, but does find 2 misses. I still think they get this point though. I don't think 50,000. I don't think the 50,000 score lead is just from hidden. It's going to be looking like that's a first point for Super9 here. Oh, but he spun really fast. Dawnwing does spin really fast. I don't think it's enough though. Alright, sorry. I'm back now, and Super Nye decides to go DG2. From what they said in the lobby, it does not seem like they've played this map before, but their assumption is right. It is going to be 210 finger control, so a lot of doubles, a lot of quads, and it's going to be tough to keep up with this map. Dawnwing, instead of Super Nye going hidden, it's going to be Dawnwing instead. Pretty interesting. But the hidden might make it easier to read, since I know there's a good amount of overlaps or weird patterning in this map. But so far, both these players still holding on to the FCs quarter of the way through. Oh, but there goes Super Nye as a first break. Slight miss aim on that burst is going to make them chain miss and give the lead over to Dawnwing. And almost halfway through the map, Dawnwing is going to be finding a break. And this is a good chance for Super Nye trying to bring this one back here, as they've built up a bit of a recovery combo. And with Dawnwing finding another miss, so does Super Nye. And now the score lead is going to stand where it is. Super Nye finding more misses. It's going to stay in the favor of Dawnwing. But there is only a third of the map left. Dawnwing does have the combo advantage though, so if Super Nye wants to bring this back, Dawnwing is going to need a miss very soon. This last third of the map, or last quarter of the map, is very tough though. Very tough to read, very tough to keep your finger control up, and Super Nye is finding a lot of trouble on it, finding a lot of misses. But Dawnwing is breezing right through it, holding their combo, and I believe that's going to be the match. Dawnwing going to win this one and move on in the losers bracket, and Super Nye will be eliminated. GG, well played to both these plays. Going to be 6-1 for Dawnwing. I believe they're going to move on to face either Kersey or Turnifus. Their match hasn't happened yet, so that is that we're unsure of who they're gonna face against, but looks like Super Nye did not play the pool that much. It's okay, it happens. But thank you for playing the tournament. Did you well play both these players? Good luck Dawnwing in your next match, and that'll be it for now. You should have some streams later in the day at 15 UTC and 17 UTC. But for now, that'll be it. Goodbye.